Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and fellows. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends and fellows, look, all of us have been given and gifted with the talents, with the capabilities, and with so much from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With so much from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But despite all that, as far our progress and development is concerned, it is not up to the mark at all. It isn't as good as it should have been. In many of the cases, the people think that they are a failure. They are not a success at all. The life is not a successful one at all. So I think that this situation is definitely an unhealthy one, and we need to think and we need to do certain things about that, so that this negative opinion of even we ourselves should be reversed. And first of all, we need to understand that if at all I have got an opinion like this one about me myself, if at all somebody, other people, think like this about me, so what is the reason? Despite the fact that I'm a capable person, I'm a talented person, I've got a lot of potential. And dear friends and fellows, in many of the cases, or in at least in some of the cases, the people are having good amount of resources as well. So that is something which we must control. That is something which we must understand first. And I am of the view that after a very careful consideration, we have come to a conclusion that there are six things. There are six habits of ours. Call it six or even five habits, because two of them are very familiar. So, there are five habits of ours which are actually so bad and so much detrimental on our way to success, on our way to prosperity, on our way to happiness, on our way to dignity in the society. So, dear friends and fellows, if at all we are unable to achieve what we should have achieved, so there are five possible reasons. There are five possible bad habits which we must control as soon as we can. So, unless and until we do this, I think we will not be able to move forward to develop, to prosper at all. So, my dear friends and fellows, what are those five habits? First of all, from which we need to control, which we must control. First of all, it is controlling the consumption of unhealthy foods, overeating the unhealthy foods. Unhealthy foods, why do we overeat? Why do we eat it so much? Why are we seen eating it so much? I think there are certain ways we can control it. One such way is that we should always keep the healthy food handy, mean very close to us. It should be there available to us all the time. So every time we feel the need or want of eating something, so this thing should only be available to us, easily available, readily available to us. And those unhealthy food should not be kept in the office, in the at the home at all. So this is very important also, that we need to, we if at all we are eating from somewhere, at least we should be taking the smaller plates. Or if at all we have bought a packet of chips, potato chips or something else, so not to eat directly from from that pot, rather to put it into the bowl first, a little bit of the proportion of it into the bowl first, and keep the rest of this away. So there are certain other techniques as well. All of us can also start thinking upon it, that how can I do this thing? How can I control or eat the consumption? How can I minimize the consumption of this unhealthy food? Somehow it is very important, and we must be doing that. So this is the bad habit number one, which we must control. Because as for the unhealthy food is concerned, it is very bad for our health. It is very bad for our looks. Neither we want to spoil our health, nor we want to spoil our looks. Both our health and our looks are very important. So I think that we must be controlling this consumption of unhealthy food. Now the second thing which we need to control, second habit which we need to control and overcome, that is cut down on screen time. cut down on screen time, it is the social media time. Social media time, I think this is the biggest addiction of recent times. Biggest ever addiction, that is of the social media. Social media, I think it's okay if at all we are doing it in a at a moderate level. In a moderate level, I think it is okay, but beyond that, excessive amount of time being spent on the social media, that is absolutely bad. It must be avoided. It must be avoided. So, my dear friends and fellows, I think and I believe that there must be a time for this thing, that how what time should I be availing, what time should I be spending in the social media, and at what time I must stop. And it is advised to uninstall the unnecessary useless apps where I think we spend most of the time. And also, as for the autoplay of certain videos are concerned, autoplay must be stopped. It is very very important that we do stop the we do stop the autoplay of these videos. Now, the third thing is that stop putting things off. What is this? This is the procrastination. We must have to stop the procrastination. Procrastination is something very bad, very bad, very bad indeed. So we must stop the procrastination. First of all, we need to understand that why am I procrastinating certain thing? Maybe because it is something which is difficult. Maybe it is something which is unpleasant. So for that reason, I think what we can do is that we can break this unpleasant or the difficult task into the smaller parts. Break it down into the smaller parts, 5 parts, 6 part, 10 part, 9, whatever. It is up to you actually. And then one part, doing one thing at a time, one part of it at a time. And after doing this thing, it is you will feel that okay, I have completed the 10% of it, the 12, 13, the 15% of it. And now a little bit of that has been all first installment, first episode has already been done. And I will keep doing it one by one, and I will keep doing it one by one. So also what we can do here in this regard is that we can offer ourselves the incentives, that if at all I do this thing, I will be rewarding myself with this thing. And this is so much. Dear friends and fellows, now the fourth thing which we need to which we need to do is, which we must stop doing is, improve your sleep habits. Improving of sleep habits. Sleep is very 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 important as far our health is concerned. Not as for our health only, rather as for the efficacy of ours is concerned, because it is the biggest ever restorative. Because it is the biggest ever restorative. So I think we must not ignore the sleep at all. Sleep, we must be providing ourselves with a good amount of sleep. We must be providing ourselves with a good amount of sleep. 7 to 9 hours, it is 7 to 8 hours is very very important. And how can we do this? First of all, I think that we should start waking up early. And why is it like that? Because those people who don't wake up early, it is very difficult for them to sleep early. And if at all we want to sleep early, we must be waking up early as well. Also, as for the social media is concerned, it also stops us, does not allow us to sleep on time. We can limit the usage of it. There must be a specific time. There must be a specific time for the usage of the social media, and not any way other than that at all. And now still another thing, that stop the consumption of caffeine, the tea and the coffee a few hours prior to your sleep time. So I think it is very 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 important indeed that we must be doing this thing. Improve your sleep habits. And now the fifth and the last is, that is reduce impulsive spending. Reduction in the impulsive spending. We must reduce, minimize the impulsive spending. Because this impulsive spending, this is like suicidal. We must not be doing it at all. And there must be a time. There must be, I think that we should make a rule for we ourselves, that every time I conceive, I think that I should be doing this thing, then I do have to wait for this much, say 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever time you give it. but then then it's you who have to implement, then it's me who have to implement. I do have to wait for 2 hours every time. I do have to wait for 1 hour, I do have to wait for 2 hours. Even if at all, if it is 1 hour, the waiting of 1 hour, I think that during that 1 hour, it will be, as far that impulse is concerned, that will be long gone. As for that, feeling uncontrollable motivation, that will be gone. And we will be cool enough to rethink whether I should spend the money upon this thing or not, whether it is worth it or not. So also, we can put the, as soon as we receive the money, the salary or whatever, I think we should separate the saving. That's another way also as well. So dear friends and fellows, I think that we must be controlling these five habits in 2024, if at all we want to bring a real change in our life. So that's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.